Ho ho, merry Summus, Spikelings, it is I, giver of all good gifts, the reason for the modern league season, aspiring Spike, and welcome to my Shark Typhoon. Let's find out if our opponents are naughty by beating us or nice by losing in a non-paid actor faction with Izzet Prowess. Watch our army of Helper Soldier artifacts spread the joy of winning, and you can add the joy by gifting your fellow Spikeling a sub and me a follow, comment, like, sponsor, support, etc. Good morning, everybody. So, yesterday we played a league of Bluebird Prowess, and we trophied very easily, very easily. This is a deck that I was liking a lot even before Brothers War. Then the main deck of the deck I was playing was almost exactly the same as this, but with basically Sprite Dragon over Iconoclast, maybe one or two other cards in the main deck, some other sideboard options, but for the most part it was just Sprite Dragon over Iconoclast, and Iconoclast is like a pretty reasonable upgrade to Sprite Dragon. The card has been performing super well so far. Just totally floods the board with pressure and really overwhelms your opponent's removal. Andrea Maguchi has also been crushing with Prowess. I think that as far as I know, he's 14-1, but with a different version. He's playing 2 Breach, 4 Light the Stage, no Manamorphose, 18 lands. I think 1 got shot over Mutagenic Growth 4, but I will say that the archetype as a whole is very good at the moment, and I know there's a lot of people who really want Prowess to be good again because they played it a lot before Modern Horizons 2. It is currently good. I feel like it's been good for a while too, and underplayed by Iconoclast has been a big upgrade. Big change from the last league I played though. I had Reality Hemorrhage in the sideboard for Sanctifier and Vec, and I just kind of, after sleeping on it some, I think it's just better to play 1 Sacred Foundry with your 9 fetch lands and just play Prismatic Ending instead, as like a much better card against Hammer Time, and also get Sanctifier and Vec. So that is the change from last league today. Again, trophied our first league yesterday. Excited to play a little bit more today with this deck. Fleece Paint, thank you for the 16 months. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, and as far as modern decks go, relatively cheap. The mana base is the most expensive part, but it's also, it is true that mana bases in modern did get cheaper with MH2. Alright, put back a land. I'm going to go Swiftspear, hold the Bauble so I can go Iconoclast Bauble on turn 2. Yeah, Mishra's Bauble, also with like a recent reprint, got a lot cheaper. Underworld Breach is like, when I bought them they were like $8. I don't know how expensive they are now. Manamorphose is like, a few dollars too. I think almost everything else is like, $3 or under, most of them under $1. Any nine red fetch lands will do. The Steam Vents are expensive. Flusterstorms in the board are expensive, so still money, but compared to your average modern deck, much cheaper. And if you're looking for something competitive at like 1/4, 1/5 the price point of your average modern strategy, you probably can't go worse than this. My opponent's got Forest Expedition map. Is Breach just a win more card deck? No, Breach is amazing in the deck. So here's something to kind of understand too. Win more cards are at their best in aggro decks like this. Cards that are good when you're ahead. Cards that will push your advantage and close you out. Like Lava Spike is a win more card. These are the kind of strategies that you can afford to play those cards in. But Breach is also a card that like will win you games that no other card has any business winning you. Breach is a card that will just completely bail you out in games where you feel completely hopeless and like you have no chance, and provide either like a lot of burn or a lot of card advantage, and in a way that really no other card can. And there's a Breach. I can go Breach at another spot. Probably just want to hand the Manamorphose, honestly. Play a Swiftspear. I'll also Mutagenic Growth this turn. Is DRC? Yeah, our threats are 4 DRC, 4 Swiftspear, 4 Mage, 4 Iconoclast. I feel pretty happy with that. No, DRC is really good. DRC is really good with Breach too. That gives you it's a big part of your plan in the late game. Just like cast spells, surveil them into the yard, just cast a bunch. Yeah, Iconoclast is nuts. The card is so strong. The fact that it triggers off of Bauble and Breach, big upgrade to Young Pyromancer, this kind of effect. But also with like one of the worst Amulet Titan draws I've ever seen. So can Throne of the God Pharaoh a good finisher? No. I've been saying this, like, nobody's listening to me, but I say this every single day I play an Iconoclast deck. You do not want to play cards that are only good after you've made 1 million tokens with Iconoclast. If you've made 1 million tokens with Iconoclast, that you are ahead, you have likely won the game. You don't need a card that is only good when you've made 1 million tokens. Like Throne of the God Pharaoh, or Shrapnel Blast, or Balmore. Because when you make 1 million tokens, you're just going to win most of the time anyways. Dr. Muggy, 13 months, appreciate you. Xaxes. Was that turn 3? I think it was a turn 4 kill. Gonna bring in these Magus of the Moons. Could consider like a Shattering Spree on the draw. I think in this matchup, I'm going down in Iconoclast, an Iteration, a Breach. I can go down a Dart for a Spree also. It's a little bit of trimming. Again, Dr. Muggy, thank you for the 13. What is the weird interaction between Soul-Scar Mage and Stringer Geist? So if Stringer Geist has a +1 counter on it, and you deal damage with it with a Soul-Scar Mage in play, the counter goes away. Ending not good enough for amulets. I would rather play Shattering Spree over Ending because it is a lot easier to cast, but I think for the most part, you don't want to be over sideboarding. You're already bringing in 3 Maguses. Ending, Shattering Spree, they're good only if your opponent plays a turn 1 amulet, usually, and they only have 4 amulets in the deck, and you have to have this card also in your opening hand. We have a Magus and a Channeler that can maybe surveil us, and we also have both our breaches. We trimmed one in this matchup. We're gonna mulligan this though. Meister, 29 months, thank you. Isn't having no islands bad with Magus? It's fine in my opinion. As I'm gonna keep this on the mull to 6. I know that we are land light here, but we have 2 Maguses, and we have, if we draw 1 land, we're gonna be able to find a 3rd. It's Magus the Moon is like almost 3 mana win the game in this matchup. You know what I mean? Magus is like 3 mana against Amulet Titan. It is such an almost impossibly hard card for them to beat. It does cut you off of some blue spells if you don't Manamorphose, but the upside is just you only bring this in against like Tron and Titan. You know what I mean? You're not and it's just gonna crush them. Although it may have to crush them on game 3. Is it worth keeping growth to try to stop this member? I think with 2 Maguses that you didn't need that, but I guess putting back the second Magus would make more sense. I thought the Undying doesn't trigger if you kill it all at once because they cancel before it dies. The Undying should trigger because Undying only doesn't trigger if it has a +1 counter, and Soul-Scar Mage doesn't negate +1 counters. Okay, to game 3 we go. Wouldn't it be bringing 1 island to mana base just be good? No, look at this. Look at our spells. We have 20 red 1 mana spells. Basic Island doesn't cast any of these. Basic Island would be horrendous in this mana base. Just curve out with Magus, and it's amazing. It's amazing when you do, and you'll win the game when you cast it. It's like 3 mana win the game. This deck so often wants to go red 1 drop on turn 1 into 2 red 1 drops on turn 2. And if you have Basic Island, you just look so silly. Kind of soft to dismember. Yeah, this hand is not 100% to win. I agree. Why Magus over Blood Moon? It does just besage you. It's also, a creature in your creature beatdown deck. It really doesn't matter a ton, to be honest. It's a good draw. Hopefully my opponent plays a Saga this turn. Hopefully they dismember this. I think that okay, Amulet. Kind of feel like they were thinking about dismembering. Okay, my opponent getting Soccer Tribe Elder to have 2 basic forests is a bit of a concern. I want to hold the Manamorphose, I think, for the possibility of drawing a blue spell next turn. But I'm going to attack with my Iconoclast. If they block with the Grazer, I'll growth the Iconoclast. If they block with the Elder, I'll just let a trade happen. Same as right, save base actions. Cancels minus a plus counter simultaneously, making the creatures die. So it does with plus counters on it still. So you're saying if a Stringer Geist has a +1 counter on it and you bolt it, it dies, it doesn't come back? Okay, Dryad does turn all their lands into lands that can tap for mana. That being said, they have no more cards in their hand. They do have a pesky second Grazer. I think we'll be alright here. Ooh, okay, so we'll go Swiftspear to Manamorphose. Blue-red. Punished. That's okay, though. Yeah, we just, let's just pass back. I guess they don't have to sack this now because they have the amulet in play, actually. Wrath and a young Pyromancer Iconoshell is too cute. Whenever you cast instant sorcery, you may tap 2 untap creatures if you do draw a card. Likely too cute. You could potentially do something like that in Pioneer. In Modern, it's just like you can pick like any 2 1-mana creature, or you can pick any 2 2-mana creatures to like resolve and stay in play, and if that happens, you're golden. And so I don't think that this so double bolting the Dryad's really tempting, but having 2 bolts in the hand for a Titan is also like really nice. But I think I should just double bolt this and get in with everything but the Iconoclast. Although if I bolt the if I trade Third Path Iconoclast for Sakura Tribe Elder here, then they don't have enough mana for Primeval Titan, which is kind of nice. And then I don't know that I necessarily need this still in play. It wouldn't be bad. Let me leave it back. Attacking first if they block Bolt 1. Well, so I want to be able to attack with my Magus. I want to be able to attack with my 1/1s pretty freely. So, like, you could attack with just a Swiftspear and 2 soldiers, I guess. Why no Breach? If we Breach here, we can only Mutagenic Growth, or we can go 1 Lightning Bolt. No, yeah, we can't do anything with the Breach, right? That I'm really seeing. Just definitely slamming second Magus. Is Iconoclast so much better than Young Pyro? I know it's an artifact, but you have 2 cards to cast it. It triggers off Mishra's Bauble and Underworld Breach. I'm kind of surprised so many people have missed this. I got this question a lot yesterday when I posted the list on Twitter. Triggering off Bauble and Breach is a huge, huge upgrade. Beseiju. Why? Magus over Blood Moon, huh? That's funny. Alright, match 2. This hand is very similar to our hand in match 1. Big lefty, 8 months, thank you. So I rolled a 6. In your experience, do we get screwed many times with 17 lands with fetches and directs? I'm closer to playing 16 lands in this deck than in 18. Listen, this is I think something that happens a lot too. Like, okay, I'm playing 17 lands. And whenever you get, like, you'll pick up, you'll see a Sparking Spike tweets a list with 17 lands. A player picks it up and gets mana screwed and one time and is like, oh man, this is not enough lands. But I have played so much Prowess, and I have played with 18, 17, 16. I even played like at one point 14 and 15 with 4 Abundant Growths, as Abundant Growth is a way to like hit your land drops. And I'm of the opinion that I would basically never play more than 17 in this version, and if I'm playing green for Abundant Growth, Harvest, or Abundant Harvest, I'm playing less copies. But I lost many games to Mana Flood, and this deck has a lot of card selection and lots of card advantage, and I think I'm supposed to Channeler here. And I'm again, like, also, like, if you play the 18th land, it's not like it's gonna be horrible or anything, but I'm like, very happy with 17 as the number. Do you find my land counts being different for paper versus digital? Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. With 17 lands, you keep 2 landers, or is it Darcy Bauble dependent? You are super happy to have... This deck curves out at 2. You're super happy to have 2 landers. You'll even keep a decent amount of 1 landers with this deck, but... yeah, you're thrilled to have a 2-lander. You curve out at 2. Oh, 1-landers. There's some 1-landers you keep. There's some 1-landers you keep, but yeah, every hand is different. Okay, I feel like being able to Lava Dart this Channeler is really valuable here, so let's do that. And then I think I'm supposed to hold this Bauble still. If I miss a land for turn, that's fine. If I draw a land, I get to go Swiftspear, Iconoclast, Bauble. What do you feel about a deck trying to speed out Dimulich and Throsta? I mean, you'll have to be like way more specific, because I've played like a Gruul Throsta version of Prowess. I played Dimulich in Prowess. I played Dimulich in like a slower Phoenix gel. You know, you'll just have to be a bit more specific. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Maybe we'll get the overall record on the... Oh, hold on. Because I took off my button for the... to add the text for a different panel for the stream manager. Okay, never mind. No text panels today. I'll figure it out later. Still messing around the manager stuff. But we are 6-0 with this deck overall. I'm feeling very, very happy with the list at the moment. I'm even considering playing this deck over Red-Green Food this weekend. I'm not 100% sure, but the deck has felt so strong. Okay, I could Lava Dart this, but being stuck on... I don't want to go down to 1 land. I'll just be comfortable getting hit by Ragavan. I was thinking more the Phoenix archetype, but trying to be less graveyard focused and more aggro based with Throsta instead. I don't know. I've spent a lot of time working on these kind of decks, and you'll just have to you're saying too much. You know what I mean? Like to play Dimulich and Throsta is a huge amount of top end in a shell like this. What do your other threats look like? What are your colors? What spells are you playing? You know, that's the kind of stuff I need to form an opinion. Def seems a strong deck. Which would I say is more consistent? I'd say it's comparable, the levels of consistency. Okay, it looks like they're thinking about Murktiding, which would be a 7/7 at the moment, which is a 2-turn clock. Have I noticed any issues with Magus? No single basic island? Absolutely not. You just slam Magus and you win the game against Titan. That's all it is. Oh, it's an 8/8. I miscounted. Still 2-turn clock, though. Although maybe not with this. I would never, ever play a basic island at this mana base. It's not even in my opinion, it's not even a conversation. I could I guess play 2 Prowess creatures and try to get them next turn. I think I'm just gonna instead. Now that I found this iteration. Thoughts on the Seismic Assault deck? Okay, so when people say I probably should have made this a bit more clear with the last comment. But when people make very, very vague questions like this, what are your thoughts on a Seismic Assault deck? What are your thoughts on Thrasted Dimulage Prowess? My brain like just spins, and I I spend all my time thinking about Magic, and so when you ask like a very vague question, there's like a million different builds of Seismic Assaults I'm familiar with. Most of them are kind of mid, but my brain just starts compiling, and I just need more specific questions, right? Like Seismic Assault is like a fringe playable archetype that has like some okay matchups, but for the most part is, I think, like a little suboptimal. I'm gonna jump block if they attack here. Okay, won't have the. Oh, they don't have Delirium. But dude, my Murktide opponents keep heating without Delirium. It happens. It's been happening so often lately. The old attack, heat, shame, concede. I would basically never play Bitter Reunion in the shell either. The hyper on Bitter Reunion is crazy, but I would like never play Reunion over like Underworld Breach, Expressive Iteration, or Light Up the Stage. Do you think one copy of Reveler might be good? So Reveler is kind of bad with Breach, or a lot of times you want to be holding Breach in your hand and then slam it to win the game. If you draw Reveler, you have Breach in your hand, that's a little bit awkward. They do a pretty similar thing. Reveler also makes you lose Jegantha, which you could lose Jegantha, but Jegantha is nice to have. It's at least a factor in evaluating it. I think that Breach is better than Reveler. I don't think you want one. What decks would you want Splash White for endings? Sanctifier and Vec decks. So I was playing Reality Hemorrhage yesterday as my answer for Sanctifier and Vec, but after some more thinking, like the white splash is pretty easy. You're already playing 9 fetch lands. Let's just play a much, much better card than Reality Hemorrhage. Play Prismatic Ending. Would Vapor Snag or Fading Hope be a better answer to this deck for large creatures like Murktide? In my opinion, the best answer for large creatures like Murktide is killing your opponent. Vapor Snag and a Dying Light are not very good answers to Murktide, because instead of killing that card, it puts it back in the hand. You could play Path to Exile on the side or something like that. Chain to the Rocks would not be bad. But I've actually liked the Murktide matchup a lot. I think it's pretty good for the most part. Like, you have an incredible advantage in the early game, and then when they play a Murktide, you just have to race it. And I think this game was a pretty good example of that strategy, and I think that is totally fine. And I think the Murktide matchup is pretty good, and because of that, I'm not that interested in like dedicating too many sideboard slots to it. But again, you could definitely play. I'm gonna keep this. You could definitely play Path to Exile. Bitter Reunion is good specifically in reanimated creativity shells, and that's it. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. Although okay, I will say, like, there's got to be like some degree of nuance. Like, you have to keep an open mind to some extent, but I would not play it in Prowess usually. Talk about Unholy Heat. You know, it's like, no, I actually really dislike Unholy Heat too. I know Andrea has like 4 copies in the sideboard. My opinion on Unholy Heat is, for the most part, that is a card I'm interested in either main decking or not playing at all. And in this shell specifically, hold on, I might actually hold this Bauble, because I can go 2 mages and then go like Bauble to double Prowess trigger the following into iteration, Mutagenic Growth up. I think that's actually good. What was I saying? I feel like I was saying something. Shredder's pretty good here. Was Rowdy Hemorrhage considered over Pirate Spellbomb because it could be flashback by Breach? So the big difference is, like, Pirate Spellbomb is a lot easier for your opponent to play around because it's in play. If you have a Pirate Spellbomb in play, a lot of times your opponent will just hold their Sanctifier, but you want them to play into it. It was kind of my thinking. And then it's instant speed, so it can, like, snag it. Hey, what's up?
Do you want a bagel and cream cheese?
No, I'm okay. I'm in the zone.
Okay. Come on, guys.
I only want Mountain Dew and Doritos if you have them.
Cheetos?
Doritos, not Cheetos. Never Cheetos.
You love Cheetos.
Yeah, I do love Cheetos.
Come on, Oso.
Am I bringing an ending for Hammer 2, or is it just Spree matchup? Ending is almost exclusively for the Hammer matchup. Yes, ending is almost exclusively for the Hammer matchup. But it's, Yes, yes. And what's good about ending over Hemorrhage too is it's like just good against the hammer deck in general, while also giving you 4 answers to Sanctifier. Oh, the Unholy Heat. Thank you. Unholy Heat. Okay, so Andrea has 4 copies of Heat in a sideboard. Heat's obviously a really good modern card. My opinion on Unholy Heat is a really good main deck card. It's not a card that I think is a particularly effective sideboard card, since the entirety of the current modern format is completely warped around Unholy Heat. There is like, people like just do not play, people just straight up do not play cards that are weak to Unholy Heat in modern. With some exceptions, but I think for the most part, they're just like many more efficient sideboard options. Okay, I think I iteration before Bauble because I could find a Swiftspear. We may actually win this turn, which is crazy. No Magus for Hammer. No, I'm not. I don't think you bring in Magus for Hammer. I think that you have enough options. Okay, they have Dispute. Fair enough. I think we keep a Lightning Bolt. Okay, so if I double Mutagenic Growth, this is plus... Each is plus 4 damage, so that's a total of 16. Not quite lethal, so I think we just do this. And then I need to think about holding up Lightning Bolts off this Sacred Foundry versus just playing my land tapped. I think I'll hold it up. Mostly for Ragavan. Well, maybe I wouldn't even want to bolt Ragavan. Okay, 3 damage to each creature in each planeswalker. So I could go bolt them, Mutagenic Growth here. Say growth first. Shaka, 17 months, thank you. I think I'm really interested in fighting a good non-creature spell. Let me see if this resolves real quick. Okay. What's the reason for one Foundry? I'm Prismatic Ending. 4 Prismatic Endings in the sideboard now. I think it's a much better answer to Sanctifier. I think this is an example of a one. We're on the draw. We have 4 castable spells. We have Mutagenic Growth. We have 2 Swiftspears, which are like, you know, are more premium threats. I think this is a keep. I think I have 5 trophies, so I'm like, you know, 3-way tie for 6th place right now. Playing against Mill. Could be Crabvine. I think I'm still gonna, you know, be playing my creatures first here. Love to draw land. Seeing the name of the next card. Okay, I will sing the next card. Is it between this and Steel Seeker Food? Yes, these are the 2 main contenders. It's hard for me to rule this one out when I'm undefeated with it. It's also hard for me to pick a easy clap. It's also hard for me to pick a different deck when I'm undefeated with this one. Night of the Reliquary, 12 months, 12 long, grueling months. Appreciate you. I kind of like the idea of double. Let's Swiftspear Bolt. I think it's close between Swiftspear Bolt, Bolt. So Swiftspear. Could see you going anyway. The mill plan is kind of funny against my Underworld Breach. There's a good chance I'll just be able to go like Breach and milli Mutagenic Growths. Night with also the 1 year. I always love to see like 2. Oh, sorry. What card did I draw? Steam Vents? I was so excited to draw the land. Steam Vents! Sorry. Mark with the 13. But I always love to see like 2 like 1 year anniversaries within like a year. I was so excited to draw it. Surgical Lightning Bolt. I do have 1 bolt in my hands. They might be dead though. Let's see, if I go Breach, Growth, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can grow 3 times. I think a land is very likely lethal. Is there any world where I want to make blue mana? No, I think if I draw a blue card, I'm still just going to cast Breach. Alright, that'll probably do it. Oh, they did leave Bolt in the yard. That's funny. Opponents have definitely been making some mistakes this morning, which I need to factor in to my tournament choice this weekend. Tomorrow is the mock showcase thing. If we win the event, I think it's 45 players, or like in between, like, you know, 40 and 50. If we win the event, it's a Pro Tour invite and a Mox invite, which is insane. This is basically a hatred, right? Pay X life, pump creature for X. Am I playing food? So I thought it was going to be an easy slam dunk for food. I'm currently undefeated 7-0 with this deck. So I may end up switching to this. I'm also 37-7 with food, which is insane, so kind of feels like there's no bad answers. With Iconoclast on the list, is there no space for Crash Through? Crash Through is not good with Iconoclast, which is the main reason I cut it. I guess if that's what you're asking. That is why. Okay, let's be cut 3 gross, be at 4 Flusterstorms, 61, 4 Flusterstorms. What are food's bad matchups? It's like mostly Tron, Tron, Belcher, Oopsal Spells, but I don't expect those decks to be very popular. Yeah, you have to win a qualifier to play in this tournament. So we on Monday of this week, I believe it was Monday, we played the last chance qualifier in 5-0, which got us in. Yeah, I agree. I think that the splash for ending makes a lot of sense. There will be a moto, yes, and I will be streaming it, I believe, with a hand hider. You don't like Andrea's buys a grape shot? I didn't know Andrea was playing a grape shot. Is that new? I don't know if I like it. I'll probably keep this. Yeah. Mingu's, I mean, this was something I wanted to try anyways, but because, like, we had been playing almost this exact same list with Sprite Dragon over Iconoclast, but Mingu doing so well with it was definitely why I've been so hyped for it. Okay, so yeah, usually I will play Mage before any other one drop. I don't think Mill, the fact that we're up against Mill should change that. Better to have a phase cider. Yeah, I really don't like cutting the 4th Mutagenic Growth. I understand that Mutagenic Growth is worse because of Iconoclast, because it doesn't protect Iconoclast from Bolt, but it does protect it from Wrenn and 6, which is really, really big deal. And I think Growth is great. I have a hard time not wanting to just play the full form. What is the showcase challenge? It's tomorrow, and it's in like 23 hours and 20 minutes. Countdown. If I play the second Saturday, yeah, Andrea sadly didn't leave the Mingu scarf with me, the signature Mingu scarf. Guess they just drew that. Got delirium now. Extirpate Lava Dart. Okay, can't respond to that. I think the Grape Shot makes a ton of sense with Breach. I think it's fine. I also have not, you know, Breach, like, usually when you have Breach and lots of mana and lots of cards, you just usually win with bolts and value. Maybe you don't win literally that turn, but, you know, this is kind of a question, a classic question of, well, maybe it's not like super classic, but I feel like I feel like the Grape Shot is a little bit win more. You know what I mean? I think it may diminish your overall card quality. That being said, I could just be wrong, and it could definitely be the case that Okay, let's just go hand, bottom, exile. I think I just have to keep this breach. Sorry, it could definitely be the case that Grape Shot is just good. Like the first Grape Shot is just a good card. I could absolutely see that being the case. And if that is the case, then I'm on board. I'm on board for playing the first copy. But if it is a card that's like you're not super happy to draw naturally and it's only good on your breach turns, I don't like it that much. But I do like it if it is something you're happy to draw naturally, and I'm not really sure. So I would maybe be interested in hearing Andrea's thoughts on that matter. That's my current opinion. Okay, I'm pretty sure I could just go Breach, Swiftspear, and Growth a bunch. Assuming they don't have a Bolt or anything. Let me see what maybe my top card is, although I guess I just missed a Prowess trigger, but that doesn't really matter. I just have Super Lethal. Lethal with no removal. Yeah. They've also already used 2 pushes, so it's kind of like tough for them to have, you know. I've been watching a lot of poker vlogs and stuff, and people like, it's just so funny, like compared to Magic, where they'll be like, I have a king in my hand. It's very, very unlikely that they have a king in theirs. Just compared to Magic, it's very different attitudes. Different evaluations, maybe, is the better way to put it. No concession yet. They have the 3rd push. Good beats. Nope. No good beats, and we are 8-0 overall. 8-0 overall. Playing in casinos, I haven't had as much fun with. Yeah, I'm trying. Just always draw the land. I'm trying to decide what I'm doing for the qualifier because I'm 37-7 with red green food. So I thought for sure it would be a slam dunk, no brainer. Play red green food tomorrow. But now I am 8-0 with this deck, and I don't know. I haven't lost with anything. I don't know. I'm having a hard time evaluating because I just haven't lost. I also haven't played against like mini sanctifiers. Is this run streak in part to Iconoclast? Iconoclast has been great, yeah. I mean, no single card just carries, but... Play whatever's more fun? Okay, this is not the tournament to play whatever's more fun. This is, this is a 48-person Pro Tour qualifier, Mox qualifier. I'm taking it very seriously. Okay, very likely could be Rhinos here. The Iconoclast down. Food will catch a lot of opponents off guard. I think it would have caught a lot of opponents off guard had I not, you know, been streaming so much of it. Yeah, I'll be streaming it. I think I'll be streaming it with a hand hider, though. I think it'll be the highest stakes tournament I've ever streamed. I mean, I've played Pro Tour qualifiers before, but it's like, yeah, games like this, I just like, how do you ever cut the freaking Mutagenic Growths? YOLO play Murktide. I cannot imagine picking Murktide right now. Going from 37-7 with food, 8-0 with this deck to the mid-tide. I would to absolutely mid-tide. Would delay be better? Delay might be better, but it's like it's maybe better for like the VODs. For me, I would rather record or not stream it than stream with a delay. I have no fun when I stream with a delay. I can't talk to anybody. I'm sitting with a camera on me with no human interaction for like an hour. It is miserable. Oh, their creativity. Okay. This game is a pretty bad matchup. I'm like 1-0. I'm like 1-0 or 2-0 against it, but I didn't get Furied very often. But I'm not too scared of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like every genius in chat's always like, just play Murktide. Just play Murktide. Good old Mid-Tide. Okay, so let's go Channeler, Swiftspear, Bauble. If I play a copy of Grape Shot, would I cut? I don't know, honestly. I don't know that I would play a copy of Grape Shot, but I'd have to think a bit more about it. Please don't persist. Man, they didn't even sequence correctly. Okay, so they go up to 9, block here, take 5. No, less than 5. I don't think this mage does much. I may be able to cantrip into, or like draw Breach. I guess Breach into 1-drop doesn't do much. Breach is like I think lethal anyways though. Okay. I'm not dead on the crackback. Oh, what is going on here? Yeah, that's I don't know. I think this is like the effects text. Hand Hider should be a turn 2 Belcher. I like that. I'll be working on the Hand Hider tonight. Got a lot of stuff to do tonight. Doobie, 32 months, thank you. So they block the Channeler, take 4. Presumably. A gif of the Hippo YouTube vid. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so we're gonna go to 2 on this attack. Did the Lightning Bolt, dead to Fire Ice, did the Prismatic Command. Dead to Creativity. Yeah, you can turn 1 Belcher with Pact of the Titan and Desperate Plunge. Yeah, it's like red MDFC, Pact of the Titan, Desperate Plunge, Pyretic Ritual, Ironcrag Feet, Belcher. EE offer you can't refuse. Yeah, I mean if they do that, that's also possibly a win on turn 1. So, what's frustrating is I'm 1 damage short of any non-creature spell being lethal if they have nothing. Infernal Plunge? It's not, wait, it's not Desperate, it's called Infernal, not Desperate Plunge. Could have swore. Tink, tink, tink. Prismatic Command you. Good line, good line, good line. Alright, we'll bring in these Flusterstorms. The Mutagenic Growths are great. I think I'm interested in trimming a Manamorphose, trimming a Breach. Manamorphose is a bit worse when you have to hold up Flusterstorm. Trimming 2 darts. Seems fine. Could trim a Soul-Scar Mage too, keeping 3 darts. I kind of like dart against the Dwarven Mime. Don't bring in Magus against the... Oh wait, this is too many cards. Oh, I forgot to cut the Mage. Don't bring in Magus against the Fire, Ice, Lightning Bolt deck. Why don't we play against Graveyard decks? What do you mean, why don't we play? The Graveyard decks are not very popular in Modern right now, or like... Living in is like kind of fallen off a bit. We have Flusterstorms for that anyways, but... Dredge is somewhat popular. We played against it yesterday as our first match and just won without Graveyard Hate. Endings are for Hammer Time, specifically Sanctifier, but, you know, good against all the Hammer Time. Let's try this. Seems fine. Why do we need a Hand Hider? Not for today, for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm playing, I think, the highest stakes tournament I've ever streamed. It is the, Modern Showcase... Hold on, what is this thing called again? Modern Showcase Qualifier. This is going to be a 40-something person Pro Tour qualifier for first place / Mox qualifier for first place, or Modern Showcase qualifier, which is like a part of the Mox, a smaller part. These days, playing a 48-person Pro Tour qualifier is insane. Like, they just, like, this just doesn't happen very often. It'll be very competitive, full of, like, some of the best players in the world, but, you know, obviously you got to play against some of the best sometimes. And it's also coming at, like, a really good time, too, where I'm on, like, a very big hot streak, and I have been waiting a lot with, like, both this deck and the food deck. I think it's not good joke growth, naked bolt. How many rounds? I don't know how many rounds. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna stream with a delay. We're just talking about this, but I do not like streaming with a delay. I am miserable when I stream with a delay. I'm sitting in a room by myself, not talking to anybody for like 6 hours. I really enjoy streaming because I get to chat with you guys and have some dialogues and, you know, get stun locked and scream and stuff. I love it. I love doing this. I've streamed with a delay before. I played an arena PT one time that you had to stream with a delay if you were going to stream, and it was like one of the most miserable stream experiences I've ever had. And I would just not stream before I stream with a delay at this point. Yeah, so I will be doing a hand hider instead, which I know is like worse to watch, but it's like, for me, it's like really that or nothing because I just don't enjoy delay. Land would be nice. Although we've kept some one landers and draw on the second land every single time, so we're kind of due, I think. Dungeon Master, 34 months. Thank you. Okay, let's play the second Swiftspear. I'm gonna hide how I sideboard. Maybe. That's probably a good idea. Is the hand hider a wizard's rule or mine? It's not a rule. It's just like, I don't know. I like basically every single time I stream a big tournament, I get ghosted at least once. At least once, and this is the highest stake tournament I've ever streamed for like weekend challenges and stuff. I don't mind so much. Please don't ghost me, but you know, it is what it is. But I will say that let's just take it seriously. Let's put the hand hider up. Lumber 15 months. Thank you. I'm gonna hide what deck I'm playing. It's gonna be very difficult to do so. Is the tournament going to be on YouTube? We'll see. I don't know how watchable it's going to be because of the hand hider, you know what I mean? This tournament is tomorrow, like about 23 hours. Okay. Land time, please. Opponent's playing so slowly also. Alright, I think I just have to bolt this and get in, unfortunately. It's possible to record your stream with a second program. Yeah. Think about it. Probably won't do that though. Do you have to go undefeated or win? Is it Swiss at the top 8? I'm pretty sure it's Swiss at the top 8. Okay, big bummer. If we drew a second land there, we're doing okay. Let's get a 4-1 prediction. We finally took a loss with this deck. We're now 8-1. Deck is bad. Just play food 5-head. Yeah, 8-1 is a very, very good record. 8-1 is a very, very, very good record. But it's also like a much smaller sample size, right? So, 37-7, like the percentage is like, you know, I think a little above 80%, which is insane. But it's over 80% with a big sample size, like a really big sample size, which is what's like so absurd, right? All right, guess we're darting. Probably playing against Breach. Just get Breach. If you beat yesterday. How do you feel creativity is? Fine. No, not fine. Sorry. Murktide is super popular. Murktide is just like you know, mid tide is like the most popular deck at the moment, and it is very good against creativity. So yeah, I don't know that I can endorse creativity at the moment because of that. Yeah, Chalice can be good against us. We did beat a Chalice yesterday. Obviously, somewhat anecdotal evidence, but anecdotal. Anecdotal. Salty food went fine. Fine. I feel like that's like a good food deck if the combo decks kind of come back, but they're pretty gone for right now. Fetch Shock, huh? Into the Fun Raveler. Alright, let's just let this happen. Killing the Stefari is a little bit of a priority because it turns on their mocks. Let's try to iteration into land and Lava Dart. It's kind of a high roll. And we have low rolled instead of high rolled, unfortunately. I think I'll hold my own breach in my hand, though. Feels bad. If we were playing 18 lands, we would have definitely hit there. Okay, now I'm kind of wishing I kept the bolts. They had a Mox Amber also. We still didn't find a land. All right, I'm pretty desperate for mana, so I'm gonna cast this, and here we go. So let's go hands, bottom, exile, play mountain, play Swiftspear, growth of Swiftspear, and then they can choose between sacrificing their Emry or sacrificing their Teferi. I guess maybe this is not as good, because I could just try to present lethal next turn too. Yeah, maybe the Teferi doesn't matter as much as just trying to kill him. It's also way worse against the removal spell. I think I kind of buy this. Yeah, they did have to, I guess the attack doesn't do anything though, because the Emry blocks every time. They could play around like post-combat gut shot, I guess. So they have 3 cards in their hand. We maybe have lethal if we go... Can we go Breach, Channeler, Swiftspear, Growth, Darts? I don't know if that's enough. Manamorphose, we can go Channeler, Manamorphose, Breach. That's 3 extra cards in the yard here. They excel at Grinding Station. Are they going to play that? That'd be awesome if they did. That's 1 more card in the yard. I think I'm supposed to try to go for it. It's very close. There's a Teferi in play. I could not have growthed. All these years later, people still miss Teferi's passive. Okay, there's a bolt. Does that make me want to maybe pump the brakes and go Iconoclast, Bolt, Emry, try to win next turn? I don't know if I'm going to get a next turn. Okay, so I can go Breach, 10 cards in the yard, Lava Dart, 10 Swiftspear, Growth. Oh. Okay, Swiftspear, 3, Growth, 1 extra, 3, Dart, Growth again. So yeah, I think it's just Swiftspear, Dart, 3 total growths, which is 6, 7, plus 4. So short, right? I can't get one more. Can't get one more. Okay, so 1. This is card neutral. No, this puts 1 extra card in the yard. 1 extra card. I did count the dart damage. This is 1, 2, 3 extra cards in the yard. So these 4 are leaving, these 4 are staying, plus again the extra 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the first cast is going to give us 7, 8. Oh, this is so okay. They could also have 3 cards. They could have bolts. Yeah, I know they could have bolts. I'm just worried that they found a breach and they're going to kill me next turn with off the iteration. Okay, so just one more time. I have these. I go breach. 1 extra card in the yard. I have 6 total. Then I cast the Swiftspear. 6 after the Swiftspear. 6 after the Swiftspear. Dart. 7 cards in the yard. And and then I can cast Mutagenic Growth, 8 cards in the yard, cast Mutagenic Growth from the graveyard, which basically costs me 2 of those cards, so 6. Then I Growth again, exile 3, 1 extra card in the yard. I should be able to Growth 3 times, actually, from the yard. So I believe it's 1 from hand, 3 from the yard. No, I must be miscounting. 8, 6, 3, 3. That's so close. So 4, 12. I think it's lethal. I'm just gonna go for it. I think that I have counter lethal here. Also, yeah, my opponent could have another removal spell for sure. Yeah, I was counting Flashback Dart. Could you calculate this in an IRL match? How would an IRL match be any different? Someone earlier asked me, do my land counts for IRL and paper stay the same? And that comment really confused me. Why would it be any different? I think we Growth first, so if they have a red removal spell, like they have to use it now, I can Bauble a bunch. They're saying Mana Weave. Yeah, this deck would be busted with the Arena Shuffler. Yeah, maybe they come from an arena where Arena does cheat for you. Let's go, man. That was pretty exciting. Okay, so last time I played this matchup, I straight up did not sideboard. Now I have access to Prismatic Ending, which is not terrible against them. Maybe just not bring it in, though. Maybe not the full 4 or anything. I kind of want to try it. I kind of want to try this. Try some number of endings. Like, maybe I just go... I think I'm just going to go down to Breach, down to Dart, play 2 endings. And just kind of, hedge a little bit. Yeah, Breach is so busted. Card is ridiculous. Opponent's playing Just Get Breach. If ending is for Hammer Time, if not the... Yeah, it's almost exclusively for Hammer Time. Again, this is, in linear proactive decks like this, you want super efficient focus sideboard cards. And it's like specifically, like, this deck's biggest weakness is Sanctifier right now. And so having like 4 answers to it's really nice, and it's the best answer, Prismatic Ending. You can maybe play Chain to the Rocks instead and then get some extra splash damage against Murktide, but I digress. So, like, I'm, like, pretty comfortable just not sideboarding in a lot of matchups. Alright, so basically I always play the mages first. This hand's, like, I think going to be, Mage into Mage Channeler into Swiftspear, cast some spells. Although maybe I'll play Swiftspear on turn 2 if I feel like I'm going to cast the Growth on turn 2. How expensive is this deck? As for, it's probably like $200 or $300 in paper, which, is, a lot of money, but compared to your average modern deck is pretty cheap. Maybe, is it really 6 or 7? Maybe the red fetch lands are more expensive than I think, because, like, I'm kind of, like, thinking that they're, like, $20 or something. Because they were, like, about that much after MH2. Oh wait, but hold on. You can't have all MH2 fetches though, right? Because you can have 8 MH2 fetches, and you have to have one non-MH2 fetch. Because you got 4 Arid Mesa, 4 Scalding Tarn. Yeah. I also, like, I always feel like I come from an era where Steam Vents are like $10. They're like $20 now, right, or something like that. Yeah. You have to play at least 1 Mire or 1 Foothills, but only one, and you could also like play one, like, one more mountain, I guess. It wouldn't be that big a deal. Wait, Flusterstorm is 30? It was so... Flusterstorm was so cheap when MH1 came out. It was, like... I think, like, less than $5. That's crazy. Alright, let's make red. I think if I draw... Oh, exactly Iconoclast, I get punished, but... yeah, it just... Yeah, there's all these cards you're like, wow, what? This card is so expensive. How is it so expensive? And it's just always EDH staple. Okay, so we're hitting our opponent for 10 down to 7. Yeah, I'm not playing Spire Bluff. I don't think you want to play Spire Bluff. You just want, like, especially with the white splash. Swap into 9th fetch and Fluster for Pierce, make this like $100 cheaper. Yeah, that's a great advice. Great advice. Okay, if they're playing Grinding Station, I'm expecting to die next turn, so I have to draw Lightning Bolt or Lava Dart. Islets of 9th fetch. Yeah, you could do that. That'd be fine. Although I don't know how much islets are. Yeah, we seem to be dead. Alright, game 3. Gets me on the play, though. I think on the play, I'm going to cut these endings. Just be fast and crash in. Magus is mostly for Titan. Comes in against Tron sometimes, too. Finally a red deck? What? I feel like I've been playing nothing but red decks. I go not true red decks, huh? Just decks with red in them, not red decks. Okay, we'll keep this. How do we put a fun of Monastery Mentor? You can figure that out. I will never do it. You can add how many mentors you like when you play it. I'm not sure. I think I would maybe do a split of Invasive Surgery, Flusterstorm, or sort of Spell Pierce for budget options. Maybe leaning towards Invasive Surgery since it really targets everything you're trying to target with those cards, creativity, and the Cascade decks. But Spell Pierce does like hit Chalice and stuff, which is kind of nice. And is like, you know, can counter removal spells on your creatures sometimes, which is important. Does Alpine Moon do what you want Magus to do, but also triggers Prowess? No. Magus of the Moon is like almost 3 mana win the game against Titan on turn 3. And Alpine Moon is like a small speed bump. Ooh. Huh. Very good play. Am I able to find my second land also? Alright, let's just bolt them. Get Delirium at least. Still no land on top. Do you ever upkeep Mutagenic Growth to try to find a land? We were maybe supposed to. I kind of want to save it for a turn I double Swiftspear. Like, I kind of want them to, like, pop the explosives on this channeler this turn. And then, like, I go post-combat Soul-Scar Mage, and then I go Swiftspear Growth for tons of damage. Was kind of my plan here. So I think there's a really good chance they just pop the explosives. And if they don't pop the explosives, maybe, you know, maybe now we play Swiftspear Growth. It's not quite lethal, is it? Wow, they played that into the explosives. Okay, so Swiftspear Growth, that makes the Swiftspear a 7 power creature. I can put my opponent to 1 if they don't block it. And I have 2 looks at a Lava Dart for lethal, so let's do that. Okay, oh no! Man, okay, fine. Graveyard. I might Growth again for 7 damage, put them down to 4. Then if I find a Lightning Bolt, I have lethal. With the newly found Lava Dart. I can keep another iteration on top, though. Very likely get to just, you know, not quite Time Walk, but they're going to spend their turn explosivesing. Have I revisited the black-white Rimmer deck with Smallpox recently? Oh, so I played a Diabolic Intent Reanimator deck that I thought was cool, and then I remember I wanted to try Smallpox at that shell, and then I didn't. But maybe we do that. Although I am kind of, I grow weary of Reanimator variants. Why another iteration? It's a good card here. It's much better than the average draw, and it will help me dig for Lightning Bolt. I do think maybe I could bottom a land here, but the ability to play a mage post-combat I do think is really nice. Has any variance been as good as the 8th Mage's Touch variant? Oh, whoops. They had Delirium. The growth wasn't doing anything. I think the Goryo's one is very similar, but that's also an 8th Mage's Touch variant, I guess. Yeah, I guess that one's still the best one by a decent amount, to be honest. Do I consider myself a brewer or a deck optimizer? I don't consider myself anything. Damn it. I have no opinions on myself or feel like labeling myself either. Okay. 8-0 into 8-2, huh? 8-0 into 8-2. Let's maybe pivot to food real quick. Yeah, I'm just simply trying to become a spike, and I'm not there yet, so I'm not putting that label on either.